The Helldivers 2 game world takes place during a galactic war featuring Super Earth and all of its enemies. However, as serious as it sounds, Helldivers adds in the perfect amount of space army cliches that make you smile without trying to be an entire comedy-based game. The game doesn't feature a story mode and is a live service game, so right out of the tutorial you're playing the game. Currently the primary enemies are the Terminids and the Automatons, aka giant bugs and giant robots, found on different planets throughout the galaxy. So the players are fighting a war on two fronts with a lot of room for the devs to add anything else they might want. Now I'm not saying that's the plan, but between the two factions you also have a variety of missions to complete against the enemies. These missions include your traditional thin the enemy numbers and eliminate as many as you can to eliminate bases, rescue citizens, destroy eggs, plant flags, set up drills for ore mining, and so many other variations that feel different when you're fighting bugs versus robots. The character you play as is known as a Helldiver, and instead of being the center of the story, you're more of an elite general who commands one ship and a fleet of other ships with other Helldivers, aka other players. So you're all Helldivers carrying out the task of spreading democracy and preventing an invasion on Super Earth. As far as customization, you can fit yourself with special armors, weapons, one of 4 voices, and a range of emotes and victory poses. One of the best parts of all this gear is in the game you have various currencies, all available to grab in-game while on missions. So the elephant in the room is, are there microtransactions? Well, yes and no. To put it simply, the currency you can buy with real money is super credits. The cost is cheap and you make out on top in comparison to how much the actual items cost. So you won't be spending $32 for one small skin. It's more like $2 to $5, and that's if you choose to spend real money. Because like I said, every currency can be earned in-game through finding them while exploring a planet or using the other currencies to buy them. This completely eliminates the feeling of missing out that some games give you, forcing you to spend your real hard-earned cash for cool aesthetic or to keep your build viable against enemies. Now, why exactly is Helldivers so good? With not a lot of marketing behind it, on the surface it's a straightforward space monster shooter with co-op. Initial perception wasn't really here nor there, it just seemed like a fun game, but fans of the first series would know that the game was a top view styled game. And all of the advertisements showed it now being this 3D space shooter. And the reality is that's pretty much exactly what it is. The beauty in Helldivers 2 is that it has all the bells and whistles of a game that has upgradable gear, challenging gameplay, and very involved handling as far as running, diving, and general movement, but all with the simplicity of a game that's not trying to be everything at once. And all of this combines to really make it a good game. It has all those simple things that you need and just slightly makes them better. In a world where most games are competitive MMORPGs or FPS games with various pro leagues, almost every game is littered with min-maxing or cultivating a character to be the best and get one over on other players by using the meta instead of what the actual players find to be cool, enjoyable, or their style. Helldivers 2 eliminates a lot of this by being a strictly PvE game. But not just general PvE, the entire game revolves around every single player from different platforms working together to liberate planets and progress as a literal whole. And when asked, the developers literally said they weren't going to add PvP. This causes a feeling of gamers being united and being, well, gamers again. Let me take you back to the early 2000s. Not too many people are content creators, if at all any, and you're hanging out with your friends, siblings, or cousins, and you all decide to play your favorite couch co-op game, whether it be Halo, Gears, Army of Two, or anything else. But the point is, it wasn't fixated on being better than anyone. There was a shared objective, and you had fun trying your best to accomplish it. In addition to that, if you died, it wasn't the end of the world and ruined your game or KD. Expanding upon that point, Helldivers 2 doesn't punish you for dying. Sure, during the current mission you might have to respawn and pick your items back up, but you can literally die at the end of the mission with no more revives, and if you completed the objective, you still win. In other words, the game can be extremely challenging, but it gives you multiple ways to win. All of these various things, from just being an overall co-op game for the whole entire gaming community to doing microtransactions well and leaving those that may not be fortunate to have the money still be able to buy things, and even just making you not have to use real money to get these things, makes the game amazing. It makes us all go back to the days where gaming was just about sitting and having fun and not trying to be a great creator or be the best at something. It's genuinely just a game.